I think we can get to where you fit into the process of what is just massive infrastructure as a project. But that your reaction first to what's happening in the UK, it seems to be the next market in this AI cycle.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you think about how much potential there is in the UK, I think it is extremely exciting and very, very untapped. So I love to see companies like Microsoft and Google coming in and investing in the UK, and the US and the UK actually working closer together.
You say a lot of potential in the UK. Why?
I think because, one, there's extremely talented workforce in the UK, and you have world-class universities, you have incredible research like DeepMind coming out years before anyone would have expected an outcome like that in the UK. And so I think that means that in the UK right now, if we keep on investing, I think we're going to see a lot more DeepMind-like outcomes.
I've got to say, you've got three Brits around a table talking about the opportunity in the UK, so I'll diverse us a little bit because we're three Brits that sit in the US right now, Maria, and you're building businesses to try and make supply chains clearer for contractors, for builders out there. And I'm interested as to what the scale is like here in the United States and what the key bottlenecks are that you're trying to fix.
I mean, the scale is enormous. So just this year, we have $40 billion going into the construction of data centers in the US. That's expected to grow more than 10% a year. So by 2030, that's going to be $65 billion. That's unprecedented. And the biggest issue with building these, it's not getting GPUs. It's getting the materials and finding the electricians to be able to actually meet this demand.
Okay, so your role is ensuring that when the contractor, which is very hard to come by and labour is short, and we've seen immigration policies hit that, but when you get them on site, they've actually got the pieces and the parts to work with. What has been some of the most complex areas when it comes to particularly the hyperscalers need and the data centre build-out?
It's a lot. When you think about the construction industry in the US, even though they're building some of the most sophisticated infrastructure out there, right, they're building projects that involve huge amounts of technology and AI infrastructure specific needs, they still largely have to rely on pen and paper and Excel to track where things are. It's hard to know what's arriving when, right? These are all huge challenges. And so when you couple that with the fact that there are 500,000 workers missing from the US construction workforce, and you couple that with the fact that materials on average are 44% more expensive than they were in February 2020 before COVID, that starts really creating a perfect storm.
I actually think it's worth going a step earlier in the process than what Caroline just asked about, right? We've kind of learned over the course of the last 2 or 3 years about how it works in the United States. You have a financing partner, you have someone like Crusoe putting it all together. You need to select a site. Then you've got to talk to the utility because you need to power that site. The utility has to think about where they get the electricity from. Is that going smoothly and well, that initial process?
It depends. It's definitely gotten a lot faster. If you think about your average size data centers, right, or data centers on the smaller side, maybe 10 to 30 megawatts.
Right.
Those previously would have taken, let's say, 24 months to 36 months to build. Now you're seeing data centers built probably twice as fast, in part because things like site readiness, interconnection, they're all being dealt with in advance. Now, I think prefab is a huge subject here, because the more that we can lean into modular construction, the more we don't have to rely on the sequential building, but we can actually build in parallel.
And there's also like a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that all of the AI names who actually just end up leasing the capacity, right? They don't even own the thing, but they would say, oh, all the work we're doing in AI is actually going to benefit the planning and execution of these build-outs. I guess that's what you'd say you also help with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of it is the better planned that you can be in advance, the better the project is actually going to go. And so if you know all of the components that you're going to need, if you have the mapped out schema, if you have all of those interconnection blocks ready to go, then, of course, contractors can be much better prepared.
I want to talk about you, about Kojo, about what the $94 million you've thus far raised, 600 construction companies that you're working with. You've just had an add-on to your Series C, I believe. How much are you seeing inbound? How much are you fighting off people wanting to put money into your company because they're realizing it's about bricks and mortar, it's about the very underlying infrastructure right now?
Well, We're seeing a huge amount of inbound. The focus for us has always been, how can we empower contractors, right? How can we take the contractors that for a really long time were completely ignored by the tech industry? And specifically there, I'm talking about the trades, right? The electricians, the folks working in mechanical and HVAC and drywall. They, for a very long time, had very few solutions that were built specifically for them. And so for us, it's about saying, well, how do we build solutions that are specifically targeted towards you and that solve your biggest pain points, like knowing where your materials are and having the visibility of how you're doing against your estimates in real time?